Well, they dehorned him and they never did cut him, castrate him, and so he grew up as a billy, and then they didn't show him, and so they were going to sell him at the ring. This was my great nephew and his wife, and we said, "Well, bring him to the ranch. We'll use him."
Yeah.
And he's a good big billy.
You're a good billy? You're a good billy, aren't you? Yeah, I can tell. Where'd he go?
That is so West Texas. We got a lot of that when we were here those 3 days. Let me tell you.
Hello. Greetings, YouTube. Or should I say, howdy. We're here in the wonderful small town of Junction, Texas. We're out in the middle of nowhere, really, in the western side of the state. And this is where we're going to begin our journey. We're going to stop here and then head down to El Paso along I-10 and visit all the little small towns along the way. Just kind of pull over and check stuff out and see what it's like. Kind of have no plan, just see who we can meet and what we see. It's kind of like gambling. And we're going to start right here in Junction, Texas. A neat little town that's a cattle town. One of those used to be important places that's kind of just hanging on. Good folks. Small town life right here.
Good old West Texas. The West Texas adventure begins right below in Little Junction on the far western side of Texas Hill Country. Down there is the seat of Kimball County. Back in the 1800s, it was called Junction City. There was a sawmill, a livery, and a drugstore in town, and probably a saloon where people punched each other over a poker game. The place really hasn't changed much since 1950. There's 2,400 people here today, as there were back when TV was still black and white. It's 2/3 white and 1/3 Hispanic. Wikipedia says there's 5 black folks in town. The whole place is just hanging on. People come and go. Old-timers stick around forever. We'll meet one in a bit. Word is that wealthy people are moving in here and changing the culture, damn it. Well, it's happening everywhere, right? But they'll make it work. You have to in a small town like this.
It's a Saturday out here, and there's really not a lot going on, as you can see. It's just maybe like a 2-block long little main street here. And you've got the Mercantile and a little, of course you got a little thrift store here and a little restaurant and an old theater that I'm sure maybe opens occasionally and closes occasionally, and of course, you got a Family Dollar. Oh, it's not open anymore. So there's a lot of stuff here that just didn't really make it. They're having a hard time keeping stuff open. A lot of people left. Just like a lot of the country, just like a lot of Texas that we've seen in the past. But it's clean and it's safe and everybody loves being here. Everybody knows everybody. That's just the way it is here. Junction, Texas.
The poverty rate here is double than where you live. The average person here makes about $25,000 a month, but it doesn't take much to live here. Houses like that right there cost about $200,000. And I know realtors here, if you think this looks good, downgrade the casa, move out here, learn to ride a horse, maybe put in a swimming pool, huh?
And look at this. We got KYKK radio and what looks to be somebody's house The radio station, that's some small town West Texas stuff right there. Got a radio outfit right out of their house.
And goats in the backyard.
And goats in the backyard. Yeah, radio station / goat breeder.
Oh, wow. Can't wait.
And this is their little corner store in town, where I'm sure everybody knows your name. Looks like you can, no. I was gonna say, can you pull up and order?
Looks like a drive-thru.
I know. Can you? Are they open? Bet they don't have this where you live. Oh, drive-through only. Oh, so you can't even go in. All right. Just here out in the middle of the little community here. Let's see if they'll talk to us. Hi, I have a YouTube channel and we're just passing through. Can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
Yeah? What is this? This is a corner store, drive-through only. What's it like to live out in Little Junction, Texas?
You get to know everyone here, you know everyone's business, but we have a lot of loyal customers, not even from Junction, that come in. But everyone likes that this is drive-through, just so they don't have to get out of their cars.
Yeah. I talk to a lot of people in town, and they say we just like living here. It's everybody.
Very quiet.
It's quiet and it's safe, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Well, it's safe as the police car just pulled up.
Police cars here.
Yeah.
But yeah, what's it like living here?
I love it. I'd rather this in the big city. It's no traffic, and you know everywhere in the county.
Yeah, good. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, have a good day.
Okay. There's a herd of deer in people's yards up here. I think that's cool. I'm sure they're probably like, get out of here, damn it. It's West Texas for you. There's deer everywhere, and you can't shoot them. It's frustrating for these folks. They're just not big enough. They're not worth eating.
90%. That's the number of people that voted for Trump in the last election. And the other 10% was a protest vote, I bet. Immigration is a hot topic round these parts, mister. Border Patrol is all over the area. I hear there's illegals running around everywhere. But you knew that. Today in Junction, a lot of the people work in livestock and in ag. Pecan, wool, grain. No surprises there. The area is surrounded by open land. Texas produces more pecans than any other state. I bet you didn't know that. But it's getting harder and harder for folks to break into ranching or farming these days. So, slowly, year by year, landowners sell out and fields are taken out of production. Damn China.
Junction, Texas football. They got their little stadium right here. Gold and black track that Charles told me that they helped build. The community helped build this track. It used to be down where the rodeo is. And everybody pitched in, and there you go. And they have an old roller rink. Rollerama. I don't know. Looks like they're still open.
Hi. You might be the cutest thing I have seen today.
We went out to a lot of the mom and pops when we could, so as we could see how these folks fix to eat. This place has deer everywhere. Oh dear.
dinner, we're going to Lum's Barbecue. It's got good reviews. Lum's BBQ. When they're out, they're out. Get it while you can. Okay. Well, that's small town Texas for you. That was in Junction that I met with my buddy Charles Hagood, and he told me everything you want to know about West Texas. Everything. Neat guy. Old Texas. We began our morning at the Donut Palace. Of course we did.
You said bacon for you too, right? Okay. What else?
The Donut Palace. I don't eat anything else. No, sir.
Chocolate donut and the bread. Have a good day. Thank you. Bye. Okay. So what else can I get for you besides that? That's it? Yes, sir. I can give you anything else.
Everyone's got camo on. Saturday morning, camo time.
Yes, sir. I have
There's Charles' truck.
just in a minute, okay? Well, I didn't tell you this morning about the chili. I didn't know why.
Right, so what are we doing? We're on Main Street, Charles.
We're on Main Street headed north.
Main Street, Junction, Texas, population 2,500, I think.
Yeah, more or less. This Main Street in the 1950s and early 60s was actually the thoroughfare of U.S. Highway 377, U.S. Highway 83, U.S. Highway 290. All of those routes came right down through town. I-10 skirted Junction to bring that traffic not down the middle of town. It's a mixed blessing, mixed bag. It allowed our town not to have terrible traffic problems, but it also took a lot of folks out of town and hurt our shops and our stores that were downtown. And there are people that I will see from time to time who will tell me there's not much to Junction except a few gas stations out there on the interstate. They don't even get into town. And this is actually Junction. It's named for the junction of the North and South Llano rivers, but it could almost be thought that it was a junction of the U.S. highways. It was a small town with a lot of highways running through it. And in those early days, there was a shop in every store downtown here, and now some of them are boarded up, and it's been a source of concern for the people who live here, that especially those of us who grew up in those years, that we don't have those stores downtown anymore. And we hope that someday that will change, and that those shops, it'll be economically feasible for them to reopen in some form or another with something in them. That's Lover's Leap. The legend is that Indian lovers jumped off that bluff. It's been a landmark for all of us who've grown up here all of our lives. One of the problems that Kimball County has had historically is not a lot of light industry, light manufacturing, things like that offered an alternative to kids who didn't have a ranch to lease or to...
There's just not a lot of jobs.
There's not a lot of jobs. And as a result, the best and brightest in many instances in Kimball County have had to leave as they graduated from school. So many times the job opportunities were in Midland and Odessa or Dallas or Fort Worth or San Antonio or Houston or Austin. And a lot of our folks gravitated where the work was. But I find the work ethic in Junction's always been great. I hear people say sometimes, well, there's nobody in Junction that wants to work right now. We can't find any help. My thought on that is everybody that's really wanting to work has a job. There's a work ethic here. People work hard. There's just not a lot of real good, high-paying jobs for the whole populace.
At the end of the morning, Charles and I went out to his ranch for a little bit. And when we got there, I think I saw just about the most West Texas thing a man could see.
Hi, Gary. How are you, man? Hi, Sherry. Gary, Sherry, this is Nick.
We're doing a little feature on West Texas for YouTube, so he's our star today.
Yeah, get these folks. They're our stars. Gary and Sherry Magnus. What are y'all up to?
Well, we're fixing to head into town, get a little breakfast, and go by the feed store. Then we're going to put this cottonseed feeder out, fill it full of cottonseed, and get some alfalfa.
We're going to come back to Charles. We're going to come back to Junction later. He's got a lot more to say about the Western Texas way of life. Let me tell you. Our next stop was little Sonora, Texas, about an hour west of Junction.
All right. We are down here about 30... Let me start over. We're about an hour west of Junction in the little old town of Sonora, Texas. Downtown here, population 2,500, about the same population as Junction. Their population here is going down pretty dramatically. They've lost 20% of their population in the last 10 years. And it's a really nice downtown right here, as you can see. Sonora, Texas.
Sonora was founded in 1889 as a ranching town, and it was named after the Sonora River. And here in Sutton County, it's about 85% Republicans. And I bet they don't have a single boy playing in their girls' sports. Not here.
Football is a big deal out here, as you probably know.
The average home here was about $145K when we were here. This place right here is selling for $99.9. Get it while it lasts.
Here's an example right here of how the place used to be a big deal for wool and feed, and none of that stuff happens anymore. It's part of the reason these towns go away.
Sheep and goat ranches are a big thing going on here. And I think they still call themselves the wool capital of the world. But a lot of that stuff's gone now. We use synthetic fibers and everything now, damn it. And I bet China is a big part of the decline of this town. And kids just don't want to live in small towns like this anymore. Even though all they do is stare at their phones anyway. You know the dude from Bonanza, Dan Blocker? He was the drama teacher in town until he ran off to Hollywood to get rich.
They're not open anymore. Poor porkies. There's an opportunity. On their main street here. Also having some problems, but these are like clean. Like, look at how they take pride in keeping everything nice and clean. It's a nice looking downtown, real handsome. They just have a newspaper. They got the little salon. I don't know who goes in there. Farmers' wives. And a little restaurant. Well, that's pretty much it. There's not much here. There's something about being out here in West Texas on a sunny day. It's about 69 degrees. Stiff breeze. It just feels peaceful and calm. I can see why people would want to be out here living. Too slow paced for me, but I get it. Of course, you gotta have your cowboy gear. Oh, actually, that's like a knick-knack store.
The high school football team here was good. Sonora High has 5 2A state championships. That's the most ever in Texas. Last one was 25 years ago. I bet there's still players from those title teams in town, remembering the good old days. I bet their state title winning quarterback hasn't bought a beer since. Why do Texans have so much pride in their hometown football teams?
I don't know. There's almost a certain identity in Texas that, you know, our band, our whole school system evolves around our athletic programs, and particularly football. Everyone is either in the band or on the football team, and it just, I don't know, some sort of our identity. I don't know.
All right, we're coming into Ozona, Texas.
There's a little spot they have rodeos.
Oh, they got a little rodeo over there. Kim pointed out. It's just another small. Oh, look at this. This is interesting. Big houses when you come in. Those are the rich people in town, I bet. If you want to move here, we know realtors. Send me an email. We'll get you the best Ozona realtor in town. Well, if that's not symbolic of a kind of a dead Texas town on a Saturday, tumbleweeds blowing across the middle of the street. We're in the Permian Basin, which is one of the most productive oil and gas regions in the world. That's great when things are going well, but there's booms and busts all the time, which can really have an impact on everything here. Today, it's cheap. $85K can get you some real estate in Ozona, and they're going down fast. Zillow said the homes were closer to $100K just a couple years ago, so I don't think this is a real estate opportunity for you. Okay, so we are about 30 minutes down the road in the little town of Ozona, Texas. As you can see, there's about 2,500 people here in Ozona. What's the deal with all these towns? They all have 2,500 people in them. And there's really, I mean, it's just completely abandoned. I mean, not abandoned, but this is our little main street. There's nobody around. On a Saturday, we're the only car parked downtown on a Saturday. It's our fancy Nissan Rogue, by the way. They call themselves the biggest little town in the world. Okay. There's a gun store over here that is not open today, and a gunsmith over here that doesn't look like it's been open for a long time. They call this Ozona because they say it has good air quality. I could say it's pretty crisp and clear out here. We're in Crockett County, named after Davy Crockett. This place was here in 1891 as a big-time cattle county for cattle ranching forever. The demographics here are a lot different than the other places we were at. It's about 2/3 Hispanic here because of all the ranching and farming nearby. And even that's starting to go away, just consolidating into big giant operations, and all the little mom and pop farms are selling out and moving on. The kids don't want to do it. Not like their granddads and their dads. It's a nice little city hall kind of area here. Again, super clean. All these areas are really clean. They're just nothing going on. Okay, here's a place that might be open. Little country store. Fiesta wear, apparel, crosses, candles, jewelry, gifts, and more. Let's see if they're really open or if the sign just says they are. Okay, so what's your name?
Kaylin.
Kaylin,
Have you lived in Ozona forever?
Yes.
What's it like here in a little small town like this?
It's like, I don't know. It's like boring here. Yeah, 'cause like it's the same people, but like, yeah. But I feel like it's better than being in a big place. Yeah. Politics? I don't really know about politics.
Yeah. Hey, we're doing an interview for a YouTube video. Can I interview you too?
Yeah.
We're talking about Ozona. What's it like in a little small town like this? Why do you like living here, or do you like living here?
It's alright. It's kind of boring. There's not much to do, but I don't know.
Is it? Do you like living here?
Yeah.
Like what? Why?
It's kind of small, so like you know everyone. So it's not so big. There's not that many strangers, so it's nice.
So when you grow up and you get older, and are you gonna stay in town or are you gonna move away?
I'm gonna move away.
Why?
I don't really know. Just to go to school. Cause I'm a senior, so I'm gonna go to college.
What's there to do for fun around here?
We have like a park. We have school stuff like basketball games and stuff. That's pretty much it.
It's boring.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is pretty boring.
All right.
So my name is Shelby Garza, and this is Santa Castro Garza, and she is my aunt. We grew up here, went to high school here. She's lived here all her life. My husband and I left for 26 years, but we've always lived small town West Texas, pretty much. Knowing everybody. Yes. I think knowing people, just like today, we have a baby shower, and people have come in and are like, "Oh, did she register? Do we have gifts?" Like they'll buy local, staying local, doing things. We are 86 miles from the nearest Walmart, H-E-B, anything like that. So that's hard. And so we opened this store up in August. My best friend and I moved back here 4 years ago. And so we do food, something different than Mexican food, right?
Right, exactly.
This is a very big ranching, oil field, gas community. The school, if you go by, our school is only 2 years old. We passed a bond and we have windmills. One of the biggest things that this part of Texas has done is the new windmills coming in, and we're having bonds off of those where it's just like if you have oil and gas, you get money off of them, right? Yes. I mean, it's a form of money, and so the school can bond off of those, borrow money and pay them back. And we have a 2-year-old school. If you go by the football field, it is brand new field house. So doing lots of good things for the kids in this community. I would say friendliness, in a sense that people are going to do things for you. Mm-hmm. You know who your friends are. You know who you can count on. You know if you're in trouble, these people are going to be here. And I would say West Texas, that is probably the biggest thing. I mean,
definitely.
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that you pull together, you support people, you support small business, you support the town, you support the kids, you support the next generation. I think her son was a coach and grew up here. She's got 3 kids that graduated here. 2 of them live in San Antonio. Mm-hmm. But the support that we have to create our next generation is probably one of the biggest things. And you can walk down the street and you know kids, you know yes. people, who are their parents, who are their grandparents, who is this. And I think that means a lot, because when we do say that to kids, it's like, oh, well, I better not do something because they, but supporting and the next generation, I think, is huge in a small West Texas town.
Okay, so behind me is the beautiful high school football stadium at Ozona. The ladies that we just met said that the school was able to pay for this impressive new stadium on bonds on the wind turbines that are all over town, on the edge of town. And I believe there's a lot of money being generated by those wind turbines, because it is blowing today. That new stadium holds about 2,100 people. And Ozona High School's made the playoffs 35 times, no state titles yet. Maybe one day soon. Look at that beautiful new stadium, everybody. There you go. So Ozona for you. Oh my God, the wind's blowing. Charles, why is there so much pride in Texas?
I don't. Maybe it goes back to the days it was formed. We're the only state that used to be a country. You know, I guess we still act like we should have been. Maybe I don't know. I don't know, Mick. I just guess I've assumed that all other states are that way. But if they're not, they ought to be.
I mean, there's some pride, but Texas is just on another level of pride.
Well, you'd have to ask lots of Texans. But
I guess so.
It's just kind of the way we were raised, I suppose.
Yeah. If somebody were to move here from California or Colorado or somewhere looking for a simple life, get some land, maybe put their feet up and not have to work so hard, somewhere they can raise their kids, would there be a culture shock to move out to West Texas in a town like this?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One of the things that those of us who've been here the large portion of our lives, many people can't wait to get out here to enjoy what we've kind of taken for granted or had all of our lives. But the problem is, often when they get here, they miss those things that they had where they came from. And then moves and changes start happening to change it so that they're like they were from the places they came from. And my thought always is, wait a minute, if you wanted to get away from that, why did you come here? That's what we enjoy here is exactly what you said: a slower pace of life, security, the people. I've served on strategic planning committees over the years at Junction in Kimball County, and you list your assets and you list the drawbacks, and always at the top of the list is our people. And our people are close-knit, and I find that in most small towns. That's where we are, and that's who we are, and we try to get along. And we realize that we all fall short, and we don't struggle with that particularly. That's just the way things are. That's life. But often, someone who's never really been out in this rural setting, when they get here, they want the urban things that they enjoyed, and you can't necessarily have all of those things because they're expensive. And often they come from the public purse strings, and our tax base is pretty low, and our tax burden is relatively low. I mean, it seems like a lot to all of us, but compared to other places, it's fairly low. And so it's a trade-off. You're going to get those things that you came out here looking for, but you're going to give up some of those things that you enjoyed where you were. I guess that's the best way.
That's right.
Answer.
All right, so right now, here we go, day 2 of the West Texas Small Town Tour. We're in Fort Stockton right now. Yesterday, we saw some small, dusty has-been towns that have good folks in them. And this is the biggest, this is the numero uno of West Texas, Fort Stockton, home to 8,500 whole entire people. And we're downtown, and there's really not a lot going on here either. So we're gonna hang out here and look around a little bit. As you can see, it's Sunday and all those people are at church.
We're in Pecos County now, mister. Fort Stockton. You can smell the manly here. All that down there was a big fort along the Comanche Trail, which ran from the Great Plains down to the Rio Grande. The Comanche came right through here on their way down to Mexico, where they stole horses and then sold them up here in Texas. And then later, the Spanish came over, and they put in missions all over to defend the land from the Comanche. Fought them off, right down there. And then eventually Spain got kicked to the curb, and we turned all this into a big army base. Fort Stockton. Now it's ours. The army left in the late 1800s, and all this became important for cattle and oil, just like the rest of western Texas. It's very Hispanic here and it's pretty poor. Here's what the edge of town looks like, where you can get a house for $100K and a spit of land for $3,500. There might even be oil under it. You got to have tolerance for small town life, though. Friday night football, same Mexican joint on Saturday, church on Sunday. There's a few bars in town, and all of them make you wait until 5 o'clock to get a bottle of suds. Saturday afternoon, the whole town's empty. Look at that. There's nobody here. It's a nice little downtown. It's just completely empty. 5 o'clock on Saturday. Man, these West Texas small towns. I don't know if someone's living in that old church. When you start to see the churches go, that means the town's declining. There's a church down there that's going pretty good. So a lot of people at this church. It's a Hispanic church.
No, no es justo, me humilló, me pisoteó, me zarandeó, me ahorcó. Y no podemos superarlo. No podemos superarlo. Es cuando
Aleluya, aleluya.
nosotros debemos estar.
All right, so downtown Fort Stockton on Sunday morning. We came down here last night and it was really dead. The young lady that ran the bar here said, I've lived here for 23 years and it's been dead my whole life. There's just nothing going on downtown. Which is interesting because I just learned that there's a huge, we know that oil and ranching is a big deal here, but Bitcoin mining is a huge deal in this part of Texas. Apparently, they're setting up these data centers out in the desert here, maybe 20, 30 minutes from town, and they're using all the cheap wind power from the windmills and the cheap solar power that's being generated out here to run these data centers, and they're mining Bitcoin. So these Bitcoin companies with these huge data centers way out in the middle of the desert out here, which is very odd to see out here in hardcore oil country Texas, guys driving Teslas around. That's way out in the desert. We're not going to go out and see that. But you think some of that money would trickle down here, or the influence would trickle down here. The reason there's so many cars, I just learned also, is because church is in session and they just turned up the music. Right now, if it wasn't for church going on in that building, there'd be absolutely nobody down here. Fort Stockton, clean, safe, just an old dusty Western Texas town. Here's the view from our hotel room. Small town Texas for you. I'll tell you where everybody's at though. They're at the Guadalajara Mexican Grill. Look at all these people. Man, this is where the action is right here. All right, well, I guess we need to get ourselves a Sunday morning taco. The Guadalajara Mexican Grill.
Tacos.
Ooh, look at that. I know you're jealous. Oh, we just learned that you can order beer and margaritas to go in the drive-thru in Texas? What?
I know.
Oh my God. My kind of place.
Heck yeah. We would be here all of the time.
I should have come here yesterday.
Okay.
All right.
Carne asada.
Look at
Flour
that.
tortilla.
Oh, that is legit.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Ew. Dang. Hey. Hey everybody, welcome to the middle of nowhere, Western Texas. I got on the coat that you all love so much. And tonight, we're gonna go to K-Bob's, the only steakhouse in Fort Stockton, Texas. The only steakhouse within 100 miles of here. We're gonna have some steak. I'm gonna show you what it's like. Come on, let's go. Look at this place. Talk about a Texas experience right here. K-Bob's in Fort Stockton, Texas, everybody. I mean, come on. Look at that.
It's so good.
Man.
They do medium rare.
What's that? And no chew in the urinals. I'm disappointed by that.
There's something about going 95 across the Texas desert that I think everybody needs to do once in their lives. It's freeing. It's America. Get out there on the open road, people.
All right, we're out on the side of the highway here, kind of out in the middle of nowhere, and there's really nothing out here. This is how things used to be back in the old days when the pioneers and the Indians and the Conestoga wagons and the engine raids and all that would go on out in the desert. And people say that today out here, it's pretty common to have the migrants come running through here, trying to elude capture from the Mexico borders, about 45 minutes south of here, and they're always coming through the desert, trying to, sometimes they'll knock on your back door, trying to get food and water. Sometimes they'll steal stuff from you. And they say it's pretty common to see the Border Patrol or Texas DPS flying through here, trying to get the bad guys, trying to come up here and get a free ride. The answer is no. Go back home. Come back when the time is right. But I can't imagine trying to walk through these deserts out here in the middle of the summer. Right now it's cool. It's only about 38 degrees. It's pretty chilly, but man, out here it can be hot as hell. 120, no shade, no water. They find a lot of dead muchachas out here.
All champions 2020.
Our next stop was Balmorhea. I think I'm saying that right. 408 people live in Balmorhea. There's really nothing here. At one point, there were 800 people, but that was a long time ago. As you know, farming's changed. Most of the farms out here, they've switched over to large corporate farms with big machines. So there really isn't much to do for work out here. And then to make it worse, I-10 came through here and all the traffic that used to pass through on the old highway dried up. So all the mom and pops closed down. I couldn't even get a price on the homes here because there's no data. I bet it's cheap.
And this is the, hate to say it, the sorriest football field I think I've ever seen. I don't know what's going on here. There's no way Texas would let their kids play on this field anymore. Oh yeah, they have a better one. Whoa, I see it way back there. I'm flying the drone over there. Oh my God. This is the old high school football field, I guess. Out here on a lazy Sunday. No green grass anywhere. Nobody really around.
It's the hardest thing for us in this area is the taking of land out of production by developing it.
For houses
and it's
or
happened,
for...
Yeah, it's happened all over Texas. It's just moved west, just like Texas population moved west. All of this country in the 1870s was pretty much, it was frontier. In the 1860s, the civilization line was really over about Fredericksburg down to San Antonio up to the border, up to the Indian Territory, and everything west was Native American territory. It was Indian country, and there were a lot of depredations in this part of the country. It was we forget that this area was pretty much the frontier, and it settled west, and that's what's happening. Houston, San Antonio to Austin, Fort Worth, Dallas, Fort Worth, that line of population has just moved steadily west over the decades, and it's going to continue to do that.
And then down the road, wow, what? Look at this stadium. Go Eagles, right? That thing's a beast. It's the nicest thing in town. This is Van Horn, Texas. No state titles yet, but you think they did. So where we are right here, we're the furthest west that you can be in the U.S. and be on Central Time. Everything past this is Mountain Time. We're about the same longitude as Cheyenne, Wyoming, and Colorado Springs. Van Horn is also a slowly shrinking city, 30 minutes from anywhere else. Walmart's 90 miles away in El Paso. Van Horn's really just an exit off I-10 at this point.
All right, hey everybody. We are in the foothills, right on the edge of oil drilling land in Van Horn, Texas, home to 2,000 people. There's not many people left in town here. It's mostly waitresses and retirees and small business owners. And space enthusiasts, apparently. In case you didn't know, just about right outside of town is where Jeff Bezos and them launched that Blue Origin rocket that went all the way up and came down in one piece. That was 4 years ago. That's kind of the city's claim to fame now. And apparently people are still trickling into town trying to find out where that happened and take a peek at that launch spot. We're not going to go up there though. And as you can see, it's just a quiet place here in West Texas on a sleepy Sunday. There you go. All right, that's pretty good. Keep panning Kim. Kim's doing a great job of panning. Look at that pan job, Kim. What? How do you feel about the pan job?
I'm a good panner.
Kim's a good panner.
I know how to pan.
What?
I said I know how to pan.
Oh, hey, look. The mailbox is a rocket. Yeah. And that's the historic El Capitan Hotel. How you doing, man? Oh, and apparently Van Horn loves Selena. Selena is a Mexican singer. I think she's dead. Is she from here?
It's quiet here now, but back in the day it wasn't so calm. Life was treacherous out here. The land and the weather both wanted to kill you. And the Native Americans, they'd swoop in from the hillsides and they'd raid all the stagecoaches that stopped in town. Sucks. To live here today, it doesn't take much. $150K would get you something above average here. $1,000 a month for a mortgage, imagine that. But it's a long drive to work from here. I don't know if you'd want to do that.
We ain't got it, you don't need it. They don't got it anymore. Another look at how things used to be here in West Texas, old flea market. But you know what they do have here? The brand new Dollar Tree Family Dollar. They're thriving. You probably know a lot of these Family Dollars, Dollar Tree, dollar stores move into these communities and just wipe out the mom and pops. They're everywhere, and here's another example of that. Right outside of downtown Van Horn.
There's a basic decency and kindness that I hope exists here that may not exist everywhere. As far as just seeing folks and visiting and enjoying each other, and maybe that's what I like about little town living better than anything else. You know, in the city, sometime everyone is anonymous, and as a result, you don't see them, and you don't visit with them, you don't share with them. Doesn't mean that everybody's glad to see you, but most of the time they are, and that's something that you can't put a price on to me. Those people will sit out there in that cold wind all day long.
Final stop was Little Sierra Blanca, which is about an hour east of El Paso. This was probably the most beat up of all the West Texas towns we saw. And boy, do you guys like stuff that's beat up. It's weird.
Man, this place is just about all gone.
Before we left, the guy in that car right there, he pulled over and said he wanted to talk. He said, I have a lot to say about West Texas. But he didn't want to be on camera, though.
My name is Eric. I won't give you any last names. I'm a 4-time convicted violent felon.
All right, Eric.
Retired at 43. Okay.
So talk to me about what you said about this area.
It's the county seat of the 3rd largest county in Texas. Does it look like that?
Mm-mm.
Privately owned and run school. Deep-rooted families that have kept it this way for the last at least 15 years, probably.
You said about the bodies out here?
Oh,
what?
Man. I mean, you know, I'm sure they got some kind of public notice, but when a person gets chopped up, burned up, and buried, you know.
They just don't find them.
Well, they find them sooner or later because the way they rent these properties that are out south and north and a little east and a little west of here, the CI that gave them all the information for this one particular person I know that was chopped up, thrown in a hole, burnt up, vehicle cut up, chopped, and parts sold. People just can't. They come out here thinking they can make it, you know, live in the old way, you know.
Why do people live out here? Why do they stick around?
But here, this town, because, well, they don't have anywhere to go. They're kind of stuck. And this town is just wide open. You don't even have to have a driver's license, insurance on your vehicle. Just don't go out of this county.
People stick around.
Don't get pulled over by the state troopers on a highway.
Yeah.
But other than that, you can do whatever you want.
So what's it like on a day-to-day basis in this little place here, Sierra Blanca?
Well, if you are retired and don't have anything to do and no carers, it's great. And if you live out further where there's silence and peace, it's even better.
That's it. That's West Texas for you. These places might not look like much to you, but these people take pride in their towns. It's not as bustling as it used to be out here, but there's friendships here and sometimes generations of memories. I don't think a lot of these folks are going anywhere. Even though it's lonely here, I think they'd be even lonelier if they left.
So you wouldn't have it any other way, would you? This lifestyle?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. we're blessed, and I view it that way. It's a blessing to be out here. It's not anything that we deserved. It's something that we were left, and we take that very seriously.
Yeah, they don't make them like this anymore, America. Charles Hagood, a true patriot, hard-working rancher out here in West Texas. Hard work, good values, believes in Jesus. He's a good-looking man, sharp, dressed.
Well, hey, Nick Johnson fans. So YouTube's pushing this whole membership thing now, and I think it's great. So I set one up for this channel. If you want to be a member on this channel, you can only do it on your computer right now. They make it hard for some reason. So go and hit join right there, and you can support the channel and join various membership tiers. I'm excited about it because I'm going to post all sort of behind the scenes content, extra interviews, fun mappy stuff, bonus songs, and more. Just some extra stuff that doesn't make it onto the main channel. So think about becoming a member. Huh, everyone?
You should join. I did.
Are you looking to move and need advice? I do consulting. That's right. I'll sit down and talk about where the next perfect place for you and your family should be. I do it all the time. Together, let's find you a new home that's safe and checks all your boxes. And I can also help you find your new house, too. Email me and I'll work with you. I'm not just helping you figure out where to move, but I can help you find your perfect home, too. That's right. I know awesome, reliable agents all over the country, and I'd love to connect you to somebody who can help you search for that perfect home. And if you want to buy some mappy gear, click the store link on my homepage. From there, you can check out the latest merch. There's hoodies, coffee cups, stickers, and shirts. Show off how much you love mappy and support the channel. And I'm on Cameo too. If you want me to send you or somebody you know a personalized video message, go to Cameo and search Nick Johnson YouTube. It's fun.
Hey YouTube world, I'm Sage, Nick's manager. You've enjoyed a Corner House Entertainment production, so watch another one.
Hey guys, if you learned something new about America or what it's like to live in America, great. You should think about subscribing and turning on your notifications. You can also click one of these videos or playlists for more.